worked around 5 years in BlackRock, actually, in risk reporting profile, market risk reporting profile.
Right.
And then also
Right.
I worked at Morgan Stanley for around a year in hedge fund analytics profile. And post that, I actually wanted to explore other risk domains as well because I was mostly working in the market risk side and wanted to explore because risk is a very vast field. So
Absolutely.
then I actually came across IIQF, and then I got exposure to various other quantitative risk models as well as the kind of other nuisance which you want to understand to get into better, develop a better understanding of other risk profiles. And then I started applying and wanted to explore other profiles. And now currently I have joined Barclays in counterparty risk profile.
Wonderful. Wonderful. So, would you give a little brief about the course that you did, the certificate program in financial engineering, and maybe you can add why you chose this course?
Yes, so maybe I can start with why I chose this course because that was the most important part.
Ab-
So the thing is, when I was working at my previous organization, I realized that this risk domain is a very, I would say, evolving or a competitive kind of a field where because every single year you see different kind of regulations coming in, different kind of methodologies getting updated, like the Basel norms, or if you say the regulatory bodies making changes because of any events, credit events happening, credit default events happening in the market. So like growth in this field requires you to enhance your knowledge because this is a very knowledge intensive field. So I realized that I have to
Correct.
like I although I did my masters in management, but that is not enough for your growth in the risk domain. And with AI and ChatGPT coming in, like it becomes very important for now for every financial professional to upskill themselves, like in both in terms of your domain knowledge as well as in terms of your technical knowledge, because the demand is such like everybody is now competing to upgrade themselves. So I was looking for such kind of a course. So in the risk domain, I did come across some other certification as well, like FRM and stuff. But I was not very convinced. I look at the curriculum, I look at the books. Although FRM is extremely well recognized in the market, but then somewhere I was wondering like something which gives a full package like the depth and the rigor, mathematical rigor from understanding these risk models as well as modeling it into using a programming tool like Python or R or SQL or anything, so that it becomes a whole full-fledged development for that person. Like you don't have to, after completing FRM, like you go around and then think, no, I need to do something in machine learning as well. No, then I have to pursue some other certificate as well. So I was looking for a comprehensive package. And given the scenario right now in India, I think if someone doesn't want to leave their job and pursue any for a working professional, they don't want to pursue a MS from outside. In the risk domain, I think IIQF stands out really well because I reached out to a lot of folks who have earlier done these certifications from IIQF, and I have received positive feedback from each and every one of them. But still, after looking at the syllabus for the certificate program in financial engineering, I was quite I had some doubts. Like the curriculum was really huge. Like if I actually compared the curriculum with some of the MS quantitative finance profiles outside, and I saw there is a huge amount, like I would say 70 to 80% overlap of the curriculum that is being taught at IIQF with the MS that is taught outside. So I had some doubt. Like this course was just for 7 months, and they were teaching all these curriculum in just 2 years. So I was little bit doubtful, like if I would be able to manage so much with my job and stuff. But then after giving it some thought, I enrolled for the course, and also one more thing, I actually joined the batch, which was already in progress 2 3 months down in progress, and actually I started when I started going through the primers, the lecture videos. it was really like the experience was really great. Like I can give you an example. Like before joining IIQF, I actually like nowadays anything that you want to learn is easily available online. Like there is so much materials available, but to get a
True.
structured way of learning, like if you want to learn quantitative finance, you will get 20, 30 books. Like everybody will have their own recommendation. And now in these short span of time, you can't just go around and reading all those 20 books and to gain the knowledge. You have to be very selective with what to do, how to do. And that kind of structure was lacking when I was looking outside. I did start reading some of the very prestigious authors like Stephen Shriven's books, and somewhere I thought that I was getting lost somewhere in between those uh, I would say theorems and everything. Like, then I realized that maybe it's time that I get proper guidance from faculty or someone who has in-depth experience. Like looking at the even looking at the faculties at IIQF, I won't say like if you want that mathematical rigor, you have lecturers from top universities, Indian universities, and if you want that kind of a practical hands-on experience, you have the best of the best industry practitioners as well. Like that was something which is a mixture of both the worlds. Like you don't just get the theoretical knowledge, but as well as the practical and implementation aspect as well. So that was something I realized. And when I started following the lectures, going through the recordings, and then studying, I actually really loved one thing is not only the faculties were teaching you what the curriculum was, in between they would give you like from this book, this page number, these theorems are very relevant, which you should be learning. And that is something which I wanted because I just didn't want to blindly watch these videos like Netflix, like people, like you can understand, like if you just keep watching these videos and don't internalize these subjects, like in 1 or 2 months you will easily forget these stuff because these are quite intensive and like very rigorous subjects. So I wanted like side by side, I
Absolutely.
wanted to follow those videos whenever there is a programming activity that faculty is going through. You side by side, I used to go and run those codes, explore what's causing the error. I used to write those codes myself just to understand if I am able to get the exact output what the faculty is showing, as well as whenever the faculty like explains like these are the theorems from these books which I have used to explain these principles. Like you go back to the book, get a soft copy maybe, go back to the book, find out that exact paragraph, read through it. If you are not able to understand, reach out to the faculty. Like this is something that I haven't understood because after every class, even if you have completed the class, you can always reach out to the faculty. Like this is something that I am a little bit confused about. Can you please help me a little bit? You can always get the support and you can always learn that. Like I would say, just following the lectures is not enough. You would always have to do a bit of your own homework and self study and then come back because just the theoretical aspect is not going to help if you don't have practical hands-on experience. And just doing the practical hands-on experience, you will never get to know what is running at the back end, like what theorems and what mathematics has been used just to call a Python library and get the output. So that kind of a mixture actually gives a very good, full-fledged, comprehensive package, which I got from the certificate program.
Wonderful. Thank you so, so much for your kind words. I mean, it is extremely satisfying to know that, like, when our efforts are bears fruits for the students, that is what actually we always live for, right? So that is very, very helpful. And I mean, I hope that all this learning definitely must have been useful when you were targeting to change your jobs. I mean, when you applied for your new job, right? So I hope that was useful for your interviews as well.
Yeah, there is one more thing I would like to definitely add here.
Sure.
Like one of the experience which actually stood out for me, like that was not something that I expected, honestly. So while I was interviewing some of the profiles, I did come across a profile for which it required some kind of in-depth understanding of the market risk domain. And at that point, I just started with the course, and I didn't have very in-depth understanding of those portions for which I was interviewing. Like then I reached out to Nitish and asked him that this is something that I am targeting. If you can directly actually provide me some learning materials or the lecture videos from the vast pool of library that you have for IIQF, and I would say like in less than 12 to 15 hours, Nitish actually provided me a list of all lectures pertaining to that exact topic to help me understand and get through all those materials and crack my interview. So that was something that was really unexpected, and I am very grateful
Oh,
for that.
wonderful, wonderful. So kind of you to mention that. Right. No, thanks so much for that. Actually, it's like, as I said, really pleasing and satisfying to know that you found the course useful and it was useful for your interviews as well. I mean, we've always try to uh, put the course as like which prepares you for directly for the jobs, not only theoretically as you rightly mentioned, but also the practical implementations. And really pleased to know that it actually helped. So, I mean, anything more you want to add with your about your experience with IIQF? I mean, you've already mentioned a lot, but again, anything more you want to add?
So, as I rightly mentioned, that the faculty is like you can always go on Google and search a lot of stuff. You will find a lot of videos. There is so much material out there. Like you will find any like great professors teaching a lot of stuff. But the thing that is in IIQF, faculties are excellent. Like Rituparna ma'am, like I really enjoyed those financial mathematics class. Like those were really great, like to help me understand because I personally spent a lot of time understanding financial mathematics prior to joining IIQF, and I used to struggle a lot. But then after attending those classes, I really understood that the subject is not that challenging. It's just that you have to spend a lot of time, and the right amount of guidance will definitely help you. Like in it right now, if someone gives me like a research paper or a kind of a model documentation to go through and get an understanding of what's happening, I would say that those kind of theoretical lectures actually helps because in the practical world, no matter how much you have practical knowledge, you will always need a good amount of theoretical depth to understand those kind of research papers and those model documentation which are put forward by the regulators, and then only after interpreting those you would be able to get it code it and get it implemented in the systems. So that was
Yeah,
something
absolutely.
really great.
Absolutely. No, no. Thanks so much for that. And finally, before we let you go, since actually, I mean, you have utilized this knowledge to get the next break that you wanted to in Barclays, right? So, I mean, any recommendation and suggestions for those who are aspiring to enter into this field of finance engineering or quantitative finance by whatever name you want to call it? So, any suggestions for them?
Yes. So the thing is, I would suggest if someone is already having some kind of an experience in already in the financial risk domain in some sort of form, some sort of profile, I would definitely suggest that like at this point of time, at least for a working professional, if you are okay to leave your job and then go and pursue an MS abroad, that would be great. Like in US and Europe, you have plenty of extremely good colleges. But in India
Absolutely.
right now, I think IIQF is doing a fantastic job. Like not only just listening to what I am saying, you anybody can go out and reach out to any of the alumnus and get their feedback. I really don't think you will find a single person who will have anything less than extremely positive to say about IIQ.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much. It was really a pleasure. Thank you so much for sharing your valuable feedback. It's really very kind of you to share your all thoughts. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you. Thank you, Nitish.